Alright, so obviously by the title of this video, you can probably tell that I'm about to preview the 2023 season. But I just want to warn you, I am not going to try and predict stats or the Kings record or even where they'll finish in the standings. I might do a prediction video later, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'm just going to outline what the Kings need to do in order for this season to be considered a success. I think the biggest question for this team is, can they build upon last year? Can they prove last year wasn't a fluke? Which, obviously it wasn't. But from the stuff I've seen on social media, ESPN, and NBA talk shows, I feel like people still need some convincing. So it'd be sweet to see them come out of the gate swinging, which, it's definitely a possibility. I know we started slow last year, but, we had KZ Paulus starting those first few games. This year, we start with the Jazz on the road. That's a tough one. I'd say it's a coin flip, but I think we do take the home opener against the Dubs because, we just have to. That's just simply something that has to be done. But then we got Houston twice, Portland, San Antonio. There's a world where we start the year winning like 11 of our first 15. Super optimistic, I know, but seriously, that might be what needs to happen in order for the media to give us some respect. But either way, I think this team likes being the underdog. I think they're going to have a major chip on their shoulder going into the season, and any disrespect or lack of appreciation they receive is just added motivation. And shit, I hope the league underestimates us again. That's to our advantage. So while the question remains, can they build upon last year? I think the clear answer is they will. They might not be the 3 seed this year, but they'll be a better team. I believe that. Another big question, and something that will be a major key to their success, is can they stay healthy? Short answer, hopefully. Every team hopes for health. Can't really control that though. But I do think the Kings are built to withstand injuries. We have a super deep bench, maybe the best in the league. That's up for debate, but I think we at least have to be in the conversation. So while we obviously don't want anybody missing major time, I think we can handle injuries a lot better now than we could have last year. Now I'm going to get into some player-specific stuff, things we need to see from certain guys in order for this team to take the next step. First of all, Fox and Sabonis have to be good again, which shouldn't be an issue. I'm not really worried about them at all. I'm honestly not worried about anybody, really, at least in the regular season. I really do love our team, but there are some questions I have that I hope get answered in a positive way this year. First of all, can Keegan Murray take the next step? He had a great rookie campaign. Obviously, he set the record for most threes by a rookie. But what I think is more impressive is that he was the only rookie getting major minutes in the playoffs. And that was kind of out of necessity, but still, I think that was pretty cool and really important for his development. Now, can he build upon that, take that experience, and become a force on both sides of the ball? A big reason why he broke the record was because he could kind of just patrol the wing, find an open spot, and wait for Fox or Sabonis to dish him a pretty pass. And yeah, we've seen him take it to the rack or take a defender off the dribble, especially as the season progressed last year. But I want to see him be more aggressive and not just have the game come to him, but go out there and make shit happen. And I think he will. Mike Brown has instilled a lot of confidence in him, as have Fox and a lot of other guys on the team. Everybody believes in him, and what's most important is that Keegan believes in himself. I think people mistake his quiet nature for being shy or nervous. I just think he has that quiet confidence about him. No moment is too big, and that's stuff you can't teach. Now, can he go and improve the aspects of the game that you can teach? I think the answer is yes. I try not to, and as a matter of fact, I never get too hyped over summer league or even preseason games. But dude, Keegan looked so good in that one game, and I know he was the number one option, and good luck doing that with Fox and Sabonis on the floor and against real teams. But, bold prediction here, I do think we will see a 40 bomb from Mr. Murray this year. You heard it here first. We're the best offense ever. Wouldn't even be surprised if Trey Lyles gets 40 at some point. Anyway, next guy I want to talk about is one of the most fun dudes to watch in the entire NBA, the one and only Malik the Freak. I love this guy, man. When he went off in game 1 against the Warriors, I felt things, dude. Things that, as a sports fan, I'd never felt before. And I've seen my favorite football team win 2 Super Bowls. I've seen my favorite baseball team win a World Series. I don't know, man. That was, I was a little drunk. But, he was doing things that game that would make the most sober person in the world want to crack a few beers, That guy, man, there's just so much to say, and I don't want to keep coming off as the biggest Malik Monk dick rider in the world, although I might be up there. Anyway, I want Monk to win Sixth Man of the Year. All right, and then there's Sasha Vezenkov. Sasha Vezenkov? Yeah, basically, if people are saying it just like I did, there's a problem. Not that he needs to become a household name for this Kings team to do what we want them to do, but he needs to be good. Personally, I'm a believer. I think we got a steal. Absolute robbery getting this guy for like 7 mil a year. Even if he's just wet from deep and that's like all he does, that's a big win for the Kings. But I do think he'll be starting by the end of the year, and I think, dude, I just think he's going to fit so well in this offense. Shoot, man, I'm just excited for the season to start. Like, I've never really felt this before as a Kings fan. Usually, I'm kind of obviously a little excited to see if we maybe crack 30 wins. But dreaming about the Western Conference Finals, I mean, I dreamt about the 2002 Western Conference Finals, but most of the time I was waking up screaming from those. So this is a lot better, man. I like these dreams way more. Oh, and one more player related thing. If HB is in our starting lineup by the All-Star break, I mean, we can definitely still be a playoff team, but I don't know, I'm just not going to be super happy about it. I know that slightly contradicts what I've been saying about Barnes and the level of happiness I had with that deal, but that was mostly because we weren't going to get anybody better in the offseason, so solidifying that wing position with a veteran who's been around and knows the system is big. But I'm assuming, or more so hoping, that by the trade deadline we're able to get a borderline star level player at either the 3 or the 4. I love HB coming off the bench, and if Sasha ends up being like a 15 point per game scorer and halfway decent defender, then I'm more than happy with him being our starting forward alongside Keegan and having HB come off the bench. The strength of this team is its depth, and I don't want to hurt that depth if we don't have to. Meaning, unless we're getting a fucking stud, preferably one who is a lockdown defender, then I don't see any point of disrupting this team's chemistry. Okay, last thing. I saved the most important one for the end. In order for this season to be considered a success, the Sacramento Kings need to win a playoff series. I mentioned a little bit earlier that I don't think the Kings will be the 3 seed again. I hope they prove me wrong, but I see them more in like the 4 to 5 range, maybe even 6 seed. But regardless of where they end up, they got to win a series. That's just how these things go. Win a series this year, win 2 or 3 the next year, and then after that, be contenders for as long as Fox and Sabonis are on the team. Ideally, we get that lower seed so we can have home court advantage. But honestly, this is probably going to come back to bite me, but the only 2 teams I don't want to see in the Western Conference playoffs is Denver and Phoenix. And I think we can even give the Nuggets and Suns a run for their money. The Clippers and Lakers are going to be good, barring health. The Warriors are going to be good, but I'm really not scared of them. I just can't see us losing a series to them in back-to-back years, especially after all the drama of last year. Especially if we have home court again. Like, it's just not happening, man. And like I said, this might come back to bite me. But I have a feeling either Memphis or New Orleans is going to be battling for home court. But I like our chances against them too. Good lord, Fox and Ja would be so fun to see in a playoff series. You know what? I think I'll just end it on that note before I get too carried away with more hypotheticals. But yeah, man, Kings should be good this year. Malik, I love you. Let's light that beam.